Hey guys, Mr. Marcus here, and as you can see, we're back with the Tottenham Hotspur Master League, and in today's episode we have 3 matches for you, 2 from the Premier League and 1 from the Europa League. The Europa League match is just so goddamn bad, and I would advise not even bother watching it, but you know, it's in the middle of the episode, so unless you just want to skip the middle, it's easy, relative, well, it's not really an easy one actually, it's just a really boring match to watch. It's like, takes up maybe about a minute and a half of this whole video, which isn't really that good considering the video is about 9 minutes, well, roughly 9 minutes long. But anyway, going into the first game of this episode, that is against Manchester City. It's one of the better teams in the league, and of course Manchester City, former champions, not the champions at the moment, champions actually are Arsenal. And it was always good to go against a team, which is always hard after, of course, with a lot of players bought in the last like 2 episodes, or the first 2 episodes with Tottenham. And of course those players like Stefan El Shaarawy, who's on the ball here actually, and Karim Benzema, a lot of big players as well, from like a lot of players we'll actually recognise. El Shaarawy actually nearly came really close to scoring in like roughly under the first 15 minutes of the match, until Benzema on the ball here from in the 17th minute of the match here, just waiting for basically for Dedrick Boyat to actually make a run. Eventually the ball gets played through to Gaston Ramirez, and Gaston Ramirez, doing what he's been doing the whole goddamn time since I bought him, is scoring goals. Now, his goal to game ratio so far is 1-to-1, because every game he's played in, he's either scored a goal, he's either assisted a goal, or he's just basically on form in general. So of course I think it's now 4 games, 4 goals. The 39th minute of the match, we do really poor defending, from which Mario Mandzukic scores a very easy goal for him basically, and he just seems to always score against me. It's the most pain, it's just a pain, him scoring against me. But basically, like, the game was really close. It was 2-1 shots to us, one shot on target for them. And in the 49th minute of the match, Gaston Ramirez basically now gets another opportunity to pop in the back of the net. As you see there, Man City bought bloody Antoine Griezmann from Atletico Madrid. So Atletico Madrid basically have no good players left, other than Morgan Schneiderlin, who I could potentially, might as well just buy as well. But anyway, in the 59th minute of the match, we actually get a corner kick from a really good Karim Benzema chance. It comes out to Karim Benzema from the corner kick, and he heads it down, okay? He heads it down to Wilson, and Wilson gets an opportunity. He's about to shoot it in, and for some reason Fernandinho, I think it's Fernandinho or Fernando, ends up basically kicking it in the back of the net. It's the most ridiculous goal I've ever seen, but it's an own goal by Manchester City. They give us a 2-1 lead. And then in the last minutes of the match, we went a little bit hacky and hacking them all over the place. And for some reason Mandzukic decided to start something with Eric Dyer. Referee comes out, gives him a yellow card. Wasn't really too bothered because it's only a yellow card. And in the last minutes of the match, John Terry got a yellow card as well for a foul. And then in the last minutes, literally that was the last minute, they get an opportunity, nearly popping back net with Mandzukic, but it goes just wide. And in the last seconds of the match, Luke Shaw runs out of play. Basically, doesn't run out of play. Actually, he heads it in and keeps it in for Benzema. Benzema tests a goal, he doesn't come to anything, and then the header from Wilson doesn't come to anything either. But it doesn't matter, because you'd be a relatively decent team with our start of like pretty decent Tottenham team. Wasn't the best. It's not the best Tottenham team I've ever seen. Actually, it's a pretty good Tottenham team, but it's a really like good start for us at the moment, basically is what I'm trying to say. So from that, we actually end up going top of the table. We go 9 points up. Arsenal also on 9. I'm sure Leicester are on 9, and all the other teams as well are on 9. So it's quite hard for us. But anyway, this game against Podefetsa, I've never heard of them. I'm sure they're a fake team, or they're just an unlicensed team. And for this particular match, I actually cut out the bit with the UEFA Europa League music, like the bit in the middle where they sing, you know, where the Champions bit is for the Champions League, because it's just not as catchy as the Champions League music, and of course it's not going to get anything. So I decided to cut out. If you want me to keep it in, of course I'll keep it in. I'm not really too bored with that. But from this team, the only player I recognise was Christian Rodriguez, who's in the middle there, number 9, because I sold him when at Atletico Madrid to them. So he was the only player I recognised. And then look at my team, I sort of made some changes, of course, because you'd expect that. So like Hugo Lloris, John Terry, Wilson, Ayan, Evra, Scott Parker, Leon Osman, like a lot of like younger players got to play in the match. Well, technically they're really old, but the regens, a lot more regens got to play, a lot more younger players got to play, and it sort of made the game a little bit more entertaining for me in general. But my god, this team, they played like Barcelona, but without Messi, Neymar or Suarez. Now, I actually show this from here. As you see here, they just passed the ball around the back for about 15 minutes. I hadn't touched the ball by this point, like literally. I showed all this until they actually get a shot away, and it's just ridiculous that they still have this in the game. Konami really should, if this is in PES 2016, I'm going to be so pissed off, because come on, teams should not be doing this, especially unlicensed teams who have no recognisable players except for one which I sold them. But eventually in the 17th minute of the match, they do give the ball to Matavs. He gets a shot away, doesn't come to anything. In the 23rd minute of the match, Leon Osman gets a shot away, pretty decent shot, doesn't come to anything either. And in the 45th minute of the match here, I mean, Osman had been running the midfield, but I just could not get it forward at all to anyone. We only had 3 shots to get on target, but look at that possession stat, 26% possession, ridiculously low, ridiculous. But in the 61st minute of the match here, we got a free kick, give it to El Shaarawy. El Shaarawy hits it back to Everett. Everett plays it one pass straight back to Stefan El Shaarawy. He skins past Jailson, runs past a couple of players, gets another shot away, gets a shot away, and it's actually a really good save from the goalkeeper. In the 72nd minute of the match here, Ericsson on the ball runs past 2 or 3 players, basically just goes in a marathon and just pops them back in the net. I don't know why I said goes in a marathon, because, you know, marathons are usually quite long things. But anyway, Christian Eriksen scores to make it 1-0 to us, and that was how the game ended. The game was so boring, because even after I scored, they still passed around a bit, like at the back, for absolutely ages, which is just ridiculous. As you see there, 37% possession, they had 93% pass completion percentage. Like, come on. But Eriksen got man of the match, group stage match day 1, and in our group we have Ludogorets and some team called Mythilogxanthe, who are, again, I'm sure are an unlicensed fake team. Ludogorets are actually real, like, fortunately for us, they're actually real, which is good. But into the last match of this episode, and it is against Brendan Rodgers' Liverpool side, which still hasn't changed since I left with Southampton 2 years ago. And we went into this team with a lot of our good players, of course, some of them quite tired, some of them not that tired, but a lot of our good players just going into this match fully fit, because of the fact that I played a really weak squad against the Podefels, however the hell you pronounce that. And basically this game against Liverpool was a really interesting match, because of course we faced Manchester City, we've already faced Arsenal, we faced Arsenal in the Community Shield, and the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool are top teams to beat. And it was always interesting to see, because of course we're not one of those teams at the moment anyway, because we finished 8th in the league last season, so it's sort of interesting to see that in general. But of course the game kicked off as you expect, us at home, and we basically kicked the game off. We played the ball about a bit, and it didn't really come to anything until the 5th minute of the match, where Benzema on the ball plays in Stefan El Shaarawy. He takes one touch, he just pops him back in the net past, I think it was Simon Mignolet, and he gives us 1-0 lead with his first goal for the club. Again, Karim Benzema assisting. Karim Benzema, assist master, I believe so. He's going to probably be the best player in the world, like in this particular match, in this particular season. It will be, I'm telling you this now. But anyway, Hugo Reece made a pretty decent save in the end of the first half. They had 2 shots to on target. I had 1 shot, 1 on target. In the 70th minute of the match, Luke Shaw on the ball runs past Gabriel Heinze like he's not even there, crosses it in to literally no one. Then it comes out to Daniel Sturridge. Sturridge tries to take it down. Holberg does pick it up. He ends up giving it, I think he ends up giving it to nobody. He actually just takes a shot for himself, and it comes to nothing. And in the 89th minute of the match, Ericsson on the ball, basically I just sort of waited about a bit, because I knew that they wouldn't come towards me that much, and basically I didn't really time waste, but I was just waiting to get an opportunity to cross it into the middle of the box, essentially. Crossed it in, it doesn't come to anything, it actually comes out to Wilson. Well, it came close to Wilson. Wilson couldn't get to it, doesn't really come to anything. Koke actually takes out the player. The referee blows the whistle for the final whistle, which was 1-0 to us. Pretty decent match, not really too entertaining, not too many highlights. As you can see there were only 5 shots in the game, 3 of which were on target, and I showed you 2. So, yeah. El Shaarawy got man of the match, and with a 1-0 win, of course, Arsenal won as well. We're still top of well, actually, we're 3rd in the table, so Southampton and Arsenal are both ahead of us. So if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel for more, and catch you later.